All right, let me go to presentation mode. Welcome everyone to the May 19th Arborist call. I've called it NU5 Special Edition. We're basically going to talk about NU5 like we have in the past, so not so much special in the sense of anything net new, but it is the last Arborist call before the targeted NU5 activation date. And I want to make sure that we highlight the tremendous work that's been done by the ECC team, the foundation team, and all our partners. So it's honestly, everyone should be like very happy. We encountered some changes in the schedule, but we largely we feel really good about where we're at, the thoroughness of the work that we've put in terms of review and readiness. So yeah, just I'll say more about it as we go. I'll pause there and just kind of move forward to get the meeting kicked off. Arborist calls are every 2 weeks. We talk about protocol, primarily engineering timelines, new things we're researching. Like for example, Kedit will come in and say, hey, we're working on ZSAs and here's where we're at, and get feedback on circuit designs or whatever. But yeah, we talk about anything and everything related to protocol engineering. The purpose is to make it more accessible. So one, it provides transparency for the community. Even if folks can't participate in the call live, we get those up on our YouTube channel pretty quick after the call. But it provides a level of transparency, and then it makes it more accessible to people that might be interested in protocol development, in the future, for example. Anyone can participate. You can register, hop on. If you want to present, just reach out to me. If it's something you'd like discussed, and you don't want to present, but you'd like the protocol participants to talk about it, you can also just let me know about that, and we'll do our best to work it in as quick as we can. Other ways to get involved, in Zcash collectively, not so much just protocol development, but we have an amazing community grants program at zcashcommunitygrants.org. We recently launched a Foghorn and ECC grant program. We're getting the grant pages set up for those, so there'll be more information on how you could apply for grants. But for now, you could email either one of those 2 email addresses that are up there, and we'll make sure that we get in touch with you and we can kind of help you with formulate your idea for an application. And then of course, probably the number one community space for the folks on this call is the Zcash R&D Discord. And it is, as the name implies, pretty much dedicated to research and development. So it's a great space. It's a great way to catch up async between Arborist calls or other meetings that we might have. So definitely, if you're interested in Zcash development related issues, please join that. Okay, so I think I somehow skipped the agenda slide. Maybe there was a little bit of a lag, but the format of Arborist calls, we have kind of standard slots for like node updates from ZBD and Zcashd. And then we have, kind of a regular agenda. And of course, we're gonna, as I mentioned, NU5 Special Edition. So we'll talk about a few things related to NU5 and the upcoming activation. But for now, I'll turn it over to Sven Conrado. So I don't know if you want to give us an update or share your screen, or I can just leave this slide up. Yeah.
You can leave it. It's okay.
Okay.
So hi, everyone. With Zebra, we're going to release beta 10 probably later today. And beta 10 will have support for NU5 on the mainnet, so it has the activation height, so you can run it, and it should be able to activate NU5 correctly and sync correctly. So yeah, we're excited about NU5 finally activating. And just to remind everyone that Zebra is already fully validating node, right? So you can run it. It should sync with the rest of the network and be a participant in the network. It talks with the other Zcashd nodes, and you can already test it. What we're working right now, other than that, is adding support for Zebra to work as a light wallet backend. So to do that, we need to support a bunch of RPC calls. And this last, in the beta 10 release, we'll add support for the Zget 3-state RPC, which is the last one that we need for light wallet support. And we are doing now a bunch of testing, which is taking some work because, you know, we do some testing with cached states, which is tricky to do in CI. We have been doing some refactoring in CI, but things are looking good now. And I think we'll complete that chunk of work very soon, probably in the next sprint. So yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that update. Let's see, a couple things popped in the chat. Oh yeah, very cool. All right, so let me move forward. Node update on Zcashd. You know, just similar to ZebraD. The bulk of what we did between the last Arborist call and now is related to NU5. And the big thing for us was we put out release 5.0.0. It had some, you know, we have a, obviously there's the release notes and we have blog posts on it. The big thing is it sets mainnet activation height as well. And, you know, there was some like RPC cleanups and some things that we deprecated and things of that nature, but nothing significant in terms of, you know, net new functionality or anything. But yeah, so set the mainnet activation height. So we're super excited about that. Now moving into NU5. So this is my standard NU5 slides, the next two that talks about the zips. So this will be actually the last time that we run through these. But for reference, everything's on zips.z.cash. So you can go there and find all of these. Here are the new zips deploying in NU5. Again, a ton of work by both the ECC and Foundation teams on these items. And they include, you know, some very, let's say, big block items. The Orchard shielded protocol built on Halo, version 5 transaction format, transaction ID non-malleability, unified addresses, which is huge, and took a good bit of work, arguably more than we anticipated. But nonetheless, some great work has gone into NU5 by both teams. We're super proud of that. We also, in the process, updated a few zips, mostly to, you know, reference, you know, Orchard appropriately. For example, like always use zip 209 as an example. Prohibit negative shielded chain value pool balances. So obviously that applies to Sprout and Sapling and now Orchard. So slight modifications to accommodate the new shielded pool. Yeah. In terms of, so this is a really cool one. So this kind of gets into the NU5 special edition. This is the trademark agreement endorsement. It's signed. I didn't want to shrink the text down so low to include the signatures. But what I do want to call out, and, you know, kind of a huge congratulations to the Foundation team. This is the first, you know, we always do these, by the way, in case anyone is curious, like what is this? So there's a trademark sharing agreement between the Foundation and the ECC for the, you know, use of Zcash or the little Zcoin logo and, you know, various things related to Zcash, primarily to ensure that there's no nefarious use of those trademarks, you know, out in the wild, like someone masquerading as some official Zcash, you know, wallet or representative or something that might be a scam. But what we do is like, okay, when things are ready, the Foundation and ECC look at it and go, yeah, that is, you know, that represents the reference implementation of Zcash, the Zcash protocol. So there's a clear indication of what that reference implementation is. Historically, that's been, you know, Zcashd 3.0.0, 4.0.0, 5.0. And now we're, you know, we're super happy and proud to include Zebra in there as a reference implementation. So again, ton of great work and huge congratulations. This is like a massive milestone. So just, you know, hats off. Don't have a hat on, but it's a, you know, it's kind of metaphorical in that sense, but yeah, great job. So Deirdre, I see your hand popped up.
Yeah, this is huge. I've been working on Zebra since it started in about August, September of 2019, aka 6 months before, more than 6 months before the pandemic started. It's been a long road, and I am so happy that we have gotten here. I am so proud of our team and everyone who has worked on Zebra in the past almost 3 years. I'm so grateful to the ECC engineers who have helped us a ton to make sure that we are interoperable with Zcashd at all sorts of places, including many places that are undocumented, that we inherited from the Bitcoin source. I'm so excited, and it's a great day for Zcash, and that's it.
No, you're
Congrats.
100% right. 100% right. Yeah. So
Couldn't have said it better
so,
myself.
yeah, it's awesome. So anyway, yeah, great milestone. Moving forward, I'll probably have some incarnation of a timeline slide from time to time in an Arborist call. We've been throwing up the NU5 timeline slide for a while now, and kind of working our way toward that activation. We are, as of yesterday, I took the screenshot yesterday, we're right here on the red dot, or actually one day in front of that now. For us, release 5.0.0, we got out, a while back. And NU5 activation is targeted for the end of May. I thought this was kind of cool. When you merge mainnet activation height, we're in the end game now. So it's like, it's set, it's ticking, and that's when we're going to activate. If you follow the block height set for 1687104. When I checked yesterday and kind of did the math, that's roughly 4 p.m. UTC on May 31st. Between now and then, we'll have some drift, but it won't be significant. It might be, maybe a few hours one way or the other. But largely it should be definitely on May 31st and somewhere close to that 4 p.m. UTC time. Obviously, we will track that collectively as an ecosystem as we get closer and provide updates on exactly when we expect that. And of course, the standing by watching that block be mined and that activation occur. So, and that may be my very last slide on this. Any questions about NU5, the content, or anything along those lines? So. All right. Well, I'm going to, let's see. Yep, I think that's it. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. That was all the prepared slides. Take a quick look at chat, hands, participants. See if anyone has, let's see. Daniel. I'm going to promote Daniel to panelist. Okay, let me keep looking. Let's see. Hey, Daniel.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can. Yeah. How are you doing today?
Awesome. Very good. Thank you. We're happy that we finally pushed, and by pushing, I mean published, the 2 zips that kind of define the whole protocol end to end for ZSA. So that's really exciting. As per suggestions of the people in the community, we're going to push them into GitHub. The correct place for that is just the zips repository, correct?
Yes,
that's
I believe
correct.
that is correct. Yeah.
All right. And we shouldn't number it or anything like that. Should be done as kind of part of a process of review or something like that.
Let's see. I don't know if there has been
correct.
a zip assigned
That-
yet, but
Yeah.
if not,
Yeah,
then
that is handled by the
I think-
editors.
Yeah. Because there's that, and I don't know the range strategy, you probably do, Chris, Deidre, off the top of your head, but there's kind of the 100 range, 200 range, 300 range. They all kind of mean something. So
Again,
kind of
it's handled by the editors.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
yeah, I just wasn't
good.
sure whether one had been assigned yet. It sounds like not.
No, I don't think there's been a number assigned. No.
And again, I'm going to keep it as 2 zips, correct? That should be the better way to go. Everybody thinks so?
I think if there's a nice division between them, then I think that seems fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that's also something where the editors, if they decide that they need to be one zip, will put them together. Yeah, I think that having two separate PRs to begin with is fine.
Yeah. We
Well,
can
it
start
can be
with the
one
two
PR with
and-
2 zips in it.
Or yeah, one PR with 2 zips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. I think that kind of covers it. Like we're not.
Okay.
Oh, there's someone that wants the summary of the zip. Unfortunately, I'm not in a place to make a summary now. I'm like driving. We had a bit of a difficult week here in some sense, but there is a small summary in the post, in the forum post for each of the components.
Well, what one was the transfer, right, Daniel? Kind of a transfer zip.
Yeah, so the zips basically are, there's 2 zips. One includes the issuance protocol or the mechanism, and the other one includes the transfer with the burn. Just because the burn is an extension of the transfer in a way, so it fits better in that zip.
Yeah,
So,
I think
yeah,
in that case, it would
like it.
probably, the way that I would probably like linkify them is I would probably call the transfer and burn zip is essentially then like the main zip probably here, and then the other one is sort of like referred to as like, we broke this out into a separate one because it's complex enough, it needs its own. But yeah, there's precedent for that kind of splitting, so it's fine.
Right. All right. Very good.
All right.
Well, yeah. So congratulations. This is a congratulatory call. So congratulations on getting those zips up, Daniel and the team. I know it's I know I've got some several people working on it. So pass along the congrats to the team as well. So
I guess first of all, I would say first things first. Also, congrats to everybody in ECC and Zcash Foundation. 5.0.0 is amazing. Zebra D is also incredible. We're hoping that ZSAs will be integrated with both Zcashd and Zebra D, of course, but we still need to figure out how that will happen. And just to say that I think what we're going to do in the next couple of weeks, most likely 3 weeks, is going to be reviewing the George Mason University report in the terms of the fee structures for the ZSA protocol. And we're going to be hosting a Twitter Spaces probably in I think it's like 2 weeks or so. So I'm going to be posting more details in the Discord and the forum probably early next week. And we'd love to have some of you there also speaking and stuff. So yeah, just FYI.
okay, cool. Sounds good. Yeah.
All right. Thank you all.
Very good. All right. Well, be safe driving. So yeah.
I am. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Daniel. All right. Very good. Okay. Anyone have anyone? Let me double check the chat. Yeah. So a lot of congratulations in the chat. I think there was a question from Dan Thomas on summaries of the zips for ZSAs. We covered that. Yeah. So yes, there is an Easter egg in the activation height. I picked it, so it's in there. You're free to guess. I won't divulge until after activation, but anyway, it's there. And it's not nearly as complicated as some of the ones Dara does for like whatever it is, consensus branch ID or whatever. So don't think there's like some super cryptographic hidden thing in there. But anyway, very good. So okay. Anyone have anything else related to NU5, DSAs, protocol development in general? Deirdre.
I took a quick look at the George Mason draft report, which is very exciting. Glad to see so many different mechanisms considered there, and they range from, and they evaluated all their privacy guarantees, or the range of privacy guarantees between them. I know we are talking about moving away from proof of work, and we have discussed proof of stake as a possible alternative. And in that report, I don't think they've considered these structures on a proof of stake system at all. Is there going to be any follow-up to consider that sort of consensus mechanism? Just because we're trying to figure out the way forward and we haven't thought about that yet.
Right. No, excellent question. So we had like some, design constraints or design input that kind of shaped some of the mechanisms and some of the analysis. And one of those was, and we did this at the very beginning before we kind of kicked anything off, was that a mechanism could depend on proof of stake, but didn't have to. So it wasn't like a must or had to or anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an excellent question. Nate got his hand up and authored all those potential mechanisms that George Mason evaluated. So Nate, something you want to add or jump in there?
Yeah, so two things. One is the things they looked at were basically brainstorms we came up with. So there could be a lot more that we just didn't come up with that we should explore. And we didn't specifically look at proof of stake dynamics. But right now I'm trying to learn about like proof of stake issuance rates and how they interact with protocol security. And what I'm looking at is just like a protocol with a single staking token. And let's see. Yeah, so we should definitely be looking at that next, as like how do those two intersect, like ZSAs and a staking token.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Good to hear. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. Great question. Yep. All right. Yeah. And yeah, so just again, under the heading of congratulations, I was stunned by how fast Nate came up with those mechanisms. Like I thought, oh my gosh, this may take us like 3 months to dream up, and Nate's like 2 days later, here's like a dozen. So, but yeah, so great job on those. Anyway. All right.
I don't know how good they are, but like I'm sure there's probably better stuff we can figure out.
Yeah. Well, the thing I liked about it is they were very creative and stimulate, like some of them I would have never, like some of them I think you pulled from like some Polkadot parachain, relay chain kind of dynamics for auctions and things like that to, conceptually in terms of the economic core. And yeah, I thought they were very creative and, it stimulate a lot of thought. So there may very well be some additional ones out there, and probably are, I'm sure there are, that would work really well. So. All right, very good. Okay, I think we're caught up in chat. Addy, yep.
Hey everyone, so touching a bit on the license, it says any fork that happens within 100 blocks will be supported as such. So is anyone aware of any forks that are planned by anyone?
So what Addy's referring to is an exception we're working on for future friendly forks, if you will. I don't know them that are planned per se that would fall into that category, but it doesn't mean that there aren't planned and we're just not necessarily aware of it.
Okay, I was just curious if someone has announced any plans.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I think there's well, I thought I saw another hand pop up, but then it kind of went away. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Okay. Toki dokie. If I'm probably not saying that correct, but go ahead.
No, that's correct. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, we can.
Cool. Yeah. So on that topic, Ali, I know someone on Discord, on Zcash Discord, who has discussed about like forking Zcash. I don't know if they are serious or not, but I'm aware of
Right.
such person exists.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
just so like,
All
you
right.
know, FYI.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Thank you. So question from Dan, or Nate's suggestions, I just posted somewhere. If you're talking about the like economic mechanisms for ZSAs, then yeah, there's a, if you go to electriccoin.co/blog, there's a kind of a blog post that provided kind of a little bit of an overview about, you know, about the George Mason study and everything. And there's a link in there to there's not, you know, we don't have the final version of the report yet, but that's just kind of an administrative thing on the George Mason side. But we do have a link out to the draft report from that blog post on, I think it's entitled ZSAs and Zcash economics. Nate.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to point out like some of the process stuff around ZSAs. So at ECC, we, this is a while ago, I'm bad with dates, but I want to say 6 to 12 months ago, we were like examining or considering ZSAs and or proof of stake, or those are the two main ones we were thinking about for where to spend our effort. So we did like some like product management research-y type stuff by chatting with different stablecoin issuers. And then we also worked on this GMU study, but we concluded from that process for ECC that it would be better, we thought it would be better for us to focus on proof of stake. So we didn't plan to do much more with ZSAs. And so this GMU result is sort of like coming out of that. It's a bit later than I had hoped. So we're really excited if, since Kat is sort of leading that effort. Yeah, I just wanted to make that clear. Like, we don't have any specific next step for ZSAs after publishing this, but we'll totally like participate in discussions. Yeah.
Eddie.
Yeah, so along the lines, I hope we can really learn from everything that's happened in the last year around token issuance, all the way up till recently with all the Terra Luna issues of what happens when you let a protocol go wild on top of what you build.
Right. Yeah, it's been yeah, I didn't even mention Terra Luna on the call, but yeah, it's been a wild few weeks, and I think there's a lot to learn. I know, you know, I heard Zucky Mannion say one time, which kind of makes a lot of sense to me especially when you kind of think about it in hindsight sometimes with things like Terra Luna or other things we've learned, that, you know, we're in a kind of a new frontier with crypto, like with DeFi, for example, and some things will work and some things won't. But you learn from those, and what gets left behind, you know, it's kind of the core of the infrastructure that builds kind of the next generation of whatever it is. If that's, I don't want to put a label on some DeFi 2.0 or DeFi plus or whatever you might call that thing next. You know, some things will work, some things won't. We'll learn a lot. There'll be a lot of infrastructure left behind that can be used to then build, you know, something better going forward. So I think that makes a lot of sense. So great point, Addie. It kind of highlights the importance of you know, things running wild, like you said, on top of the protocol. Cool. All right. Okay. Anything else anyone has? All right. Very good. Well, Dodger, good luck with the chips. I'm sure they're going to be excellent. And
They're in the oven.
Yeah. Good. Excellent. So, yeah, we'll stay, again, looking forward to May 31st. We'll stay caught up and synced up in Discord, and looking forward to a great activation.
Nice, uneventful one, hopefully.
Yes, exactly. like one time we were on a call. Of course, it wasn't as massive as NU5, right? We always are on like a little watch call, and it's like everybody was distracted. I think like playing some game or something. And I'm sitting there like watching blocks, and I'm like, hey, it was one of my first ones, right? And I'm like, does the world explode when it activates? So I'm like watching every block, and people are like playing games, and I'm like, hey, it activated 5 blocks ago, and everyone's like, oh, okay, cool, and they keep playing their game. So it's like, anyway, hopefully, yes, super uneventful. That's what I'm looking forward to. So, but yeah, fingers crossed, absolutely. All right, well, look, everyone have a good rest of your day. Again, congratulations to everyone, and thanks for all the kind words from participants and the audience and everything. So, but yeah, we'll stay caught up in Discord. So, all right, have a good one.
Happy NU5.
Yeah, happy NU5. All right, talk to y'all later.
Ciao for now.
Bye.
Bye.